One of the only real problems I have using a dynamic mic is that I actually have to position it correctly. I know, like 10 seconds of extra effort. How could I ever? Anyone looked at Nova Lands? It's Epic's free game this week. Oh, right. I forgot about that. It's one that I think we'd had on our wish list for quite a while. It looks very cute. Yeah, already grabbed it. Apparently they're putting out Echo Generation for free next week. So that's fun. Had some bangers in there. All right. Whereas I'm literally holding the thing I'm trying to find. There we go. I think like somewhere close to like 95% of our games on Epic are from the fucking free games. I imagine it's the same for a lot of people. Let's do it. Let's Edgeworth. Okay. Just reached the middle section. It's organized very differently than with Phoenix Wright, which makes sense because they don't have the courtroom scenes necessarily to go over, just because of the kind of person that Edgeworth is and what he's doing with his life right now. All right. Let's go. Oh my god, why am I yawning? I know why. Yesterday was fucking exhausting. Jesus Christ. March 13, 1:22 p.m. Gatewaterland main gate. Water. Land. Ugh. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything. However, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with. Ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands. When I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, and I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. I still never said she could be my assistant. Ugh, I'm just going to have to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium! Hurry, sir! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. It's gotta be someone familiar with that entrance. A witness? You! What did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir! Oh, I thought they were gonna drag him away. That would have been really good. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet the witness. March 13, 1:42 p.m. Stadium. I thought there was a witness here. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh my god, it's Emma! Oh my god! She's an adult now. Long time no see. You're Miss Emma Sky, correct? It's gonna be the pink badger. That would have been pretty great. This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Sky. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she'd gone to Europe to study forensics. It's good to see her again, it really is. I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. Emma and Kay should know each other, I think. I think you're right. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. How you doing, Bad Road? Also Willow and Beekeeper, though Beekeeper's lurking, so I don't expect a response. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. Look, Kay can't help but talk about being in Great Thief Club. It's most of her personality so far. Love how Kay is just running around telling all these law enforcement agents that they're thief. Yeah. She has no fear. Maybe no survival instinct. So why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over. I really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? For those who don't know, Emma was our assistant in the later Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Chapter 5, which was as long as the entire rest of the game, so we got to know her very well. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I used these to track your footprints, and I followed them straight to you. This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. She does have a DS, it's true. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing, the footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. I love that she still says everything is scientific, no matter what it is. It's very good. Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said. What is that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? The government ban on Simpsons fan art. I can only imagine what that's in reference to. I think it's the pink badger. That was a good M shoe. Thank you. I was very happy about it. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? I assume this is another Badgermobile? Yeah, but it's a different color than the blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retina-searing pink model. Hmm? What's that off in the distance? Yep, there we go. Oh, hey, the pink Badger. Badger, get! Said Kay has no fear. Ah, gotcha. Is it gonna be, I forgot her fucking name. The unluckiest woman in the world. Is it gonna turn out to be her? Bird? Oh my god, why can't I remember her name? Old Bag? No, not even thinking about Old Bag, but that would be even funnier. Why is she wearing a sash that says Tough Love and has handcuffs on one arm? Badger, 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 badger. Just what does she see in these silly things? Mushrooms. Mushrooms? Maggie, yes, thank you. I think this badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak badger dance. No, it's absolutely Wendy Oldbag. Oh, you are right, it's definitely Oldbag. I can't take being inside that stuffy head no more. You called her, Willow. No! Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She's since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief. Edzipo! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm gonna be direct. I have a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Ms. Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. My name's Wendy Oldbag, but you can call me Wendy, or Granny, or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Ms. Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. Ha! What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Ugh, I was just trying to be polite. Oh my god. Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met?
Huh. I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands.
So she's a temp.
But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now.
I like this. I like the way she's talking herself up as a temp. That's confidence. We need more of that.
I finally got the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't, with young girls, why just the other to notice me. He went and got into an arranged what then all as they say that.
You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, please, I'm begging you, by all means, do not provoke her any further.
Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness.
Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true. She is the witness.
I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yeah, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder.
Hasn't she claimed this like twice before and she was just lying? You mean to say you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes?
Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. I came to this stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
She's the best at what she does, and what she does ain't interesting.
It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell ya. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately.
What's that unfortunately you tacked on at that end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. I came to this stadium to take a short break.
You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger?
You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell a sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work. That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know. Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids.
So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting?
Oh, yes, that. Well, as I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area.
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me?
They looked like your average Joes, completely uninterested and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that.
But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful.
Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous.
It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just foes compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
Hold
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place.
Absolutely. That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help.
2 men, 1 bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we?
Well, it was somewhat useful. Her testimony also presents us with a new problem.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
So about this new problem?
What is that giant grin on your face?
Do you want me to show you something real nice?
No, thank you.
Don't be mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like.
What's that gadget you're holding? Remember slide-up telephones?
What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief, an easily traceable form of communication.
I should have known it would be worthless.
Oh, don't be like that. What do you think now?
What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air.
I'm gonna input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
What is this?
This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I input into Little Thief.
The fuck is this? Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far.
Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see, Ms. Oldbag said the 2 men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out. Victim fell to the ground.
Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past.
See? What do you think?
I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days.
Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu.
Indeed.
Oh, but if there isn't enough information, or if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange.
In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony.
You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification.
Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction.
Thank you for 5 bits, Willow.
And if you find something, I've got a little thief with me, so just let me know, okay?
According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here.
That's right, but...
But if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction.
Huh? What? Where?
If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item? But there's no mark of him being dragged and there's no blood.
Take that!
This is the contradiction.
Huh? Is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one?
Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right?
Right. The fact that there's no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Edgy Poe, how can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down.
You know, I
Don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth.
be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie. In that case, maybe there's another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Hey, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer?
Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief.
She has a point. What do we have over here? Oh, well. The costume. Right? Should be all we need. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume?
So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers?
I think we can reasonably assume that there's a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes...
And Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground.
And also, Wendy didn't realize that one of the men was wearing a Blue Badger costume. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume.
You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around.
Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. I mean, Emma, right? Emma just said.
This is amazing. Just feel the power of science.
Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints. You won't find any footprints. Jesus was carrying him. Is Jesus also who shot him?
Ah, finally, my expert knowledge in forensics is needed.
Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything.
Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area.
Okay, stand back and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something. Look, right here.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right, here. Put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume.
Judging by the way the prints are layers, those seem to be the newest.
And we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time.
Okay, in that case, I'll update the thief simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info.
Investigation complete. Oh, fuck. So the victim was wearing a costume when he died.
And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right?
I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention.
What do you want?
Your testimony, actually. Ugh. Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please.
I came into the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell ya. So, does this mean that Ms. Oldbag's testimony has a contradiction in it?
Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation.
See, I just knew Little Thief would be of help. Now, let's see if we can pull more info from Ms. Oldbag to put into the recreation.
For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony. The cross-examination is a lot easier and more straightforward in this than in the original trilogy. Alright, so... there it is.
Objection!
Two men. How did you know the gender of the two people involved, seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time? Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I'm telling the truth, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier.
The second tier?
Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense.
That's not what a metaphor... I see our witness still has a screw loose, even in the metaphorical sense.
The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap.
I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there, it's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up here? Oh, why am I yawning so much?
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they was in the stage's shadow. My eyesight ain't what it used to be, you know. Not like when I was young, Ego 100 paces away noticed me in a flash, judgmental eye, but...
Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay?
You got it.
This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume.
Silhouettes can change depending on the information I input, but Little Thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away, we may even find more info with which to make an accurate sim.
Alright, sounds like a plan. Where's the, stage? There we go. It looks like they broke the stage down. Wait a second.
I guess that means they're done for the day.
Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. If they were right here, they were not in the shadow of the stage. There's no way. She knows they were men because they didn't have hair ornaments. You know what? Fair enough. If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down.
Do you want me to input that bit of info into the Little Thief?
Yes, if you please.
Okay.
Well, that's even worse. There is clearly a contradiction here.
A contradiction here.
Please stop stealing my lines.
Aw, come on. It wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me.
I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way. Because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at the time.
Eesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything?
Yes, well, in a way, we still need to resolve this unusual situation.
Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Ms. Oldbag? Yeah, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. See, now let me update the info in the simulation.
Except it entered through his chest and exited through his shoulder. So there's no way that he could have fired from there. Unless the badger was standing on his head.
Well, well. What have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see.
Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us.
Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes.
Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium.
I see. Thanks.
For what?
I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy.
You two, sir!
And there you have it, see? Big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Ugh. Now this is a recreation.
So what? You still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer?
Of course.
Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. This man is hopeless.
This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with his gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. See? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl. I am not some common crow. I don't like her anymore. I'm the Yatagarasho, the Raven of Legend.
Unfortunately, your conclusion has yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. This is the real scene of the crime.
Hold it!
Looks like we found the real crime scene first.
Ha! Brag all you want, but we don't have all that free time, unlike the two of you. You know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wounds as he whimpers home. Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me. Shay Shay. Shoo Shoo? I don't remember how to pronounce that. That's how we say thanks in my country.
You're welcome. I hope you realize we didn't do all of this for him.
But I'm here now, so I'll be taking over.
As I was saying, this is where the crime took place.
Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage.
Hold it!
Lying in wait. How did Officer Meekins even know the victim was going to come here?
Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right?
And while he was doing so, he came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movements. Huh. And why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnap? You mean his motive? Who knows? And who cares? You can find that out for yourself when you talk to him in jail. Huh. You have no respect for the order of the law. Don't get me wrong, but I need more than there's no motive to convince me otherwise. He's right, the lack of a motive is a rather weak argument by itself. So the officer lay in wait on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. See, that is where he's definitely wrong, right? I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located.
Actually, I didn't get that good of a look.
Oh. Well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim.
Then,
Yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above.
a clear contradiction.
You're discounting your own conclusion? No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. Ah, I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, it'd also explain the positioning of the gunshot wounds.
But then what about the footprints?
Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume.
Okay, I'll try using that data instead.
What the hell of a scene right there. Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. It was a domestic dispute. Jesus Christ. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? Huh. Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badgermobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the Blue Badgermobile here and committed the murder. What about the pink Badgermobile that's literally right in front of you? Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right, it was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. The 3-tired tread marks are very telling, however. It is the Blue Badgermobile, the only thing capable of creating such a pattern. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over here.
Hold it!
The tire marks. Yes, the tire marks. The ones there behind the stage. They were hidden up until now by the various pieces of stage equipment. As for when they were made, they must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct? Yes, and probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. The tires on the Blue Badgermobile probably got pretty muddy because of that. I say it's the Blue Badgermobile because, well, that's pretty obvious too. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badgermobile.
Hold it!
3 tire marks. I have to agree that the Blue Badgermobile does have 3 tires. Of course, the only thing in this park that could make those marks is that roving shop. Are you forgetting that there are in fact 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and the Proto-Badgermobiles, Agent Lang. Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of those 2. But I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things. The story Officer Meekins told about the shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie.
Hold it!
Of course, you have some sort of proof that it was all a lie, correct? Of course not. Well, that was blunt. But suppose it is a lie. It would explain a lot of things, like his movement and his whereabouts. He drove the Blue Badgermobile here and committed the murder.
Hold it!
So you still claim that the tire marks belong to the Blue Badgermobile? It must have arrived on the scene after the ground became wet with rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area.
Hold it!
Besides the Blue Badgermobile, there are other ways the body could have been moved.
Not so fast!
Recall what the Wild Wild West area looked like. Only the Blue Badgermobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage. I'd say that's proof. I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene?
Looks like the only thing that car was selling was death, not dreams.
Only if what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. The 3 tired tread marks are very telling, however. Is the Blue Badgermobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? I mean, the tires aren't muddy. That's the only thing that's coming to me.
Objection!
Oh, Edgeworth looks pretty confident. Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale. And why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekin's Blue Badgermobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves the Blue Badgermobile had never been to this stadium?
Take that!
Take a good look at the tires. Oh, good. I think we got it. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as very peculiar indeed. Then how do you explain the tire tracks, genius?
Hey, I've got it. What about Ms. Oldbag's pink Badgermobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there's yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh, you mean the proto-badger?
That's right. There was one more parking space inside that garage. And it's time for our first ad break. All right. I want to remind you before we go to the break that there is a civil rights movement happening around the country and the wider world. Black Americans, people of color, are fighting for things that shouldn't have to be fought for, like equal rights, equal treatment under the law, and not be attacked, terrorized, and even murdered by the police. We have listed here some ways that you can help. They include the Bail Fund Network to help keep protesters out of jail, the Okra Project and the Black Trans Travel Fund to help black trans and non-binary people with food, supplies, and travel out of dangerous situations, and the Black Hills Legal Fund, the Lakota People's Fund to take back their land to 6 grandfathers, which was stolen by white people, arbitrarily renamed to Mount Rushmore, and then had some white slave owners' faces carved in the side of it. Black Lives Matter. Lives of people of color matter. Indigenous lives and lands matter. Asian and Pacific Islander lives matter. These are things we got to keep saying and pushing and fighting for until the people all the way up to the very top not only understand and acknowledge them, but work to make them real protected truths. All right, we're going to go to the break. I'm going to run some ads. I'll be back here with you in just a few minutes, so see you then. Sorry about that. I'm a bit late. I realized that I hadn't actually eaten today, so I stopped to grab some bagels and spread some cream cheese on them. I do love cream cheese. These are also like French toast bagels, which are so good. They're like fucking $3 a bag at Aldi, and then the cream cheese spread is like $1. And that lasts through like the entire bag. The non-American grocery store is the only way Americans can afford to eat. Support my decision to eat every day. I appreciate it. It was a tough one to make. And sometimes I still manage to forget, but we're working on it. All right, now where were we? That's right. There was one more parking space inside the garage. And it proves the existence of a proto-Badgermobile. It's still wild to me that they've been doing this stealth Mega Man reference through the entire series. And I only just now got it. When the Proto Badger comes onto the scene, do you hear a distant whistling? Agent Lang, I suggest you find this photo badger Agent Lang, I swear to God I can speak. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this proto-Badgermobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it. Not dissonant, it's just distant. But yes, you are correct. Ah. Is it Gumshoe? Is Gumshoe about to dash in screaming?
Hey, did you hear something?
Help! Okay, not Gumshoe. Who's this? Help me! Wait, that's that one guy's son. This is the most lesbian-looking man I have seen in my entire life, and I am here for him. Distant, that's fine, yes. Help me.
Are you all right? Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim.
Where were you all this time? Wild West with kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers. Huh? What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say with all that blood in your mouth. The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman. A woman? Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cops on this already. I'll even let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. It's so fucking weird for me when he takes off his sunglasses, because his sunglasses just look like two eye patches. And this is fucking with my head. He looks like a young critic. Oh my god, he does too. Let's get the picture back on him. Now, are you going to get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough? They're not no, it's apparently sunglasses. It's just the parts that hold him on his face, the hooks, there's two on each side at wild angles that don't make any sense. Again.
You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily.
Don't count on me to testify, because I won't. Not for you. That's right, I won't either. You hear me, young whippersnapper?
Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not going to rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate?
Fair maidens.
I knew that would be enough to charm her.
My, you little rascal. You sure know the way into a woman's heart.
Long she says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever.
Ha! Trying to outdo my edgy poo with your fancy smancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement.
Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Okay, bye, Wendy and Emma. And they were never heard from again. Middle again, regrouping with Ernest Amano. Is Ernest Amano the guy from the... I don't remember who that is. The name is very familiar. March 13th, 2:34 p.m. Sorry, need to get in the narrator voice. March 13th, 2:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Who even suggested roughing them up? Is that an option where he's from? I mean, I hate to tell you, but it's an option here. Sorry, bagel in my mouth. Not an entire bagel, mind. My mouth ain't that big.
Looks like we got the boot again.
With land safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder.
You mean the infighting between the kidnappers?
Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy! Was this the right voice? I don't remember. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you've really found my boy. It's not the right voice, because I remember I had one that wound up not really fitting him, and then I just went with it. But I don't remember the voice. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you really found my boy. Yes, Mr. Amino. Okay, yeah. Father of the gotcha. Okay. Yes, Mr. Amino. We found him earlier in the stadium.
Then my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a...
Can you believe the shit I have to deal with? Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say, I'm relieved that Lance is all right. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter? Ah, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know. Here, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? Almost certainly. My dear Lance Amino, may I come see you again? Your beloved Viola. Wow, we're just getting a fucking... Just an absolute fucking river of, Ted Danson's coming to see Frasier here. Who's who of the right verse, yeah. It's a very simple love letter.
Oh, hey, let me see. Huh? That's really weird. It's from a loan company. Tender lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me.
I don't know if... Did Edgeworth ever meet Viola? I don't think he did. No, he was in there just long enough to meet her, I believe. Maybe. He was in the chapter in any case.
He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through. That was all Godot. Edgeworth didn't show up till the mountain temple. You might be right. Yeah, you're probably right.
I suppose. If they were me, then.
I believe you said that you're Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because... This isn't just any ordinary ring, it's delicious.
Oh my god.
It tastes so sweet when you lick it.
God damn it. I make a joke and it comes true. You mean to tell you that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Amano. And so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano Group? What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world on Pegasus.
Hey. Pegasus.
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a sec. But now it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned. He flew to the corner store to get cigarettes.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were ever to meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to the sadness.
I just realized that her name is Pops. Lauren is a bit of a stretch, though. Unless it's Forlorn. Forlorn Pop. This is a stretch.
But I won't live in the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live.
I guess I picked the right voice. Exactly, just like Bonathan. I was trying to remember his name. Just like Bonathan says. Continuous, enthusiastic, consent. About this incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, well, that's because of my woman's intuition.
He based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny.
Oh god, she started fantasizing again. Someone get the shovel.
So what are you gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there's one location that might hold a clue or two. None of these are particularly funny. So we'll just say obviously the right one. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout. There haven't been as many joke options on those as in the original trilogy.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Huh. Is it possible for you to let us look around inside? Sir! Roger, sir! That was a surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but... Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir. What's this? The man in this picture, isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon? Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pen E. Dent prison. Really? Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show. Oh my god. Deacon is her dad, and also he got sent to prison. And holy shit. This is convoluted. I love it.
But the name here says Colin Devora.
That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Devore was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? And what was he doing here?
Apparently, he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon.
Pegasus, which he had in prison, yeah.
Wow, he's a tiny man. I just love that his name is so obviously an anagram of his alias. Like, it stands right out. Colin Devore dossier data jotted down in my organizer.
Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then, the door has been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir. I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Now, let's see what we can find.
Updated my journal.
March 13, 2:55 p.m. Kidnapper's hideout. So, this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
While you were tied up for a while in the room next door.
Hey, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. Alright, and we're in.
Ooh, they have barrels just like these just outside.
Yes, and?
Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them?
There's an expectant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. This must be where they dispose of old and worn out costumes.
That's so sad.
It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Beyond this door is where the kidnappers
Held you after getting the jump on you.
Must you keep reminding me?
But it's the room where I got to see your awesome face.
You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Cheap styrofoam cups.
Huh. Looks like only 3 cups were used.
I wonder what this key is to.
Got me.
It reminds me of the key we found in the other room.
That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors.
That wasn't a trap door. You only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one?
I am not having this conversation with you. A poster of Gatewaterland is stuck on this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige, Gatewaterland has it all and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? Folding chairs, and by the look of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers.
There's 3 chairs set around the table.
So we got 3 people. We're 3 cups of coffee, 3 chairs. And this game came out on the 3DS. So that's 3 threes.
Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? A sign advertising the photo rally, something I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah, but I do. And I'm gonna get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see.
She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. Beyond this door, yada yada, alright, nothing new there.
Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room too.
It's not a trap door, it's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay.
I know that.
The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open.
Looks like a sword. A broken sword. You know, like those games. Broken sword.
It's like Maya dialed up to 11. It really is. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Swords don't usually break on their own.
That's true.
Alright then, let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on, so like trying to pry open the trapdoor, maybe? Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. There's nothing unusual about this area. Except there was, just the hitbox is wonky.
The doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up.
I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
That's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
How is that possible after what the officer told us?
Yeah. If the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So the lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be?
This is getting weird.
The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful of where you step, Kay.
I only fell into that other opening once, you know.
It also helps that Miles is much better at getting to her level than Phoenix was with Maya. Miles very rarely even flinches and usually just keeps things going. Okay, well, this is the obvious one. The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3.
Wait, I thought there was only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible that there's a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see, or that Lance is pulling a stunt? I kind of want to believe Lance is pulling a stunt. Alright, so the sword was used to pry open the door. Or to stick the door closed. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. Yeah, it was used to wedge it closed then. One look at the pristine door lock, and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time.
But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight, despite it being not locked at all. Is this Dark Souls? It can only be because of this. No, like, that's seriously a recurring thing in Dark Souls. I'm not even making a joke, per se.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. That's true, the bad badger had. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need be answered. Ah! I just got jump scared by the proto badger. Fuck! It wasn't even animation, he just kind of slid into the scene. This is not the first time this has happened either. What is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We badgers also make use of it in our duties.
Look, why don't you get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay?
Oh, I beg your pardon, miss.
Proto Badger get. All right, only one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally, duh. See, look. Now all I have to do is get a picture of the bad badger and I'm done.
Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort.
What? It's gone. But where did it go?
What happened? What's wrong?
A bad badger costume is missing, sir.
Oh.
Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken.
What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. So who is this Proto Badger? Who is this? Oh shit, that's true. He would have been mostly behind my fucking avatar. Whoop. What did you mean by a bad badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We're one bad badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park, the others should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. Oh my god, he's got a gun. The Bad Badger literally just walks around the amusement park with a realistic gun. No way is it Larry. Larry would have made himself known immediately. It's a stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park. And the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Oh, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume.
And doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger?
Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. This is getting out of hand.
Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers?
No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
Recall the costumes for a minute.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another bad badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 bad badger costumes, but the question is why? I think I know why. The second bad badger costume, I believe it may be closer at hand than we think.
Huh? What do you mean?
That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out and take a look.
As I suspected, it's a bad badger costume.
Well, minus the head.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Like this hand? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? A criminal with a gun. The Telltale Pants is my favorite Poe story. Very nice. A vile criminal with a gun!
No!
Oh, excuse me, I just snorted right into the mic. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Between what?
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be.
Oh, the gun!
Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However... You there, did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems our kidnappers had a need for the model gun, my dear costumed friend. I think we're about done with this room.
So what's next?
Well, we found a few answers. But there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. March 13, 3:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You gotta hurry, sir! Come on! What is it, detective? They found a blue badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir! What?
Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing?
Bingo! That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we might still be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir. Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. Wow, through 2 chapters and we're not even at the second ad break. This one's been breezy. Ooh. Final confrontation. Latter. Final confrontation for... So there's 2 more chapters here. Or 3, if there's a final confrontation middle. March 13, 3:45 p.m. Gatewaterland, main gate. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Just off screen, you can kind of see its legs.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. It's the wings that go with the pendant for the Pegasus. So Lance and the butler faked the kidnapping and the murder. Very possible. I'm not 100% on it yet. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. And let's get down to it. We'll rest until etc., etc. What do we have here?
Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these 2... Hold her right there! Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? Ugh. A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren.
Hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. Yep.
Yep. Aha! We have you now, Ms. Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand.
Lolly, I can't believe you are one of my kidnappers.
Lance. You're kidding. Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes.
And now the joke makes sense, yep. They did get there. They did bring it around.
It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Ms. Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey, guys, case closed, solved, and over. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Ms. Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. Huh, we found it. Found what? The officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Our country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. Okay, but he's not wrong. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? The number of times Edgeworth ellipses in the first game, I think definitely outdoes this one, but it's still comforting to see.
Ms. Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him.
She's covering for someone.
I can't believe it. I mean, you, and the Zeppelin, and the fire.
One day, one person will get that reference watching this stream, and they will cheer and leave a comment. And that one's for you. Beekeeper would call that, oh, hey, Coyote Traveler. And that would be what Beekeeper calls a, oh my god, I forgot his fucking name. Joel? Is it Austin? It's something like that. Mystery Science Theater guy. My memory is no good today. That's embarrassing. Thanks for the confession.
Objection!
Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Hodgson, thank you. It was a Hodgson that I just did. Beekeeper taught me about those. Agent Lang, I already read this. I'll read it again. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. For some reason, even though I have to go down so far for Edgeworth's voice, it doesn't hurt my throat. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Also been slacking on voice training the past couple days, so, you know. Ms. Lauren Pops.
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough?
It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that's the truth. He learned this from Nick. Phoenix Wright was a good influence on this man. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. All right, you heard me. Let's hear about all the... You mean you heard him? All right, you heard us. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We both knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I could at least respect that much. Ms. Pops, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it, is.
If that's the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there's something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. That Mr. Deacon turned on her, right?
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times, that's it.
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talk, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan?
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Oh my god. Isn't that right, Sheena?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Ha! I bet he didn't see that one coming.
We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage.
Hold it!
You knew? How did you know something like that?
Oh no, what should I do?
Okay, what's wrong with her now?
Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary voice again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way?
Huh.
No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right. That brings us to our second ad break. Where is it? There's the button. I found it. Hey, if you want to support us, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can, of course, subscribe here on the channel, or you can head on over to patreon.com/ifwhen. That'll get you access to art, music, and shout-outs at the end of every stream. All right. I'm going to go to the break, run some ads. We'll be back here in 3 minutes. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Hey, we're back. All right. Let's get back to Judy Garland over here.
Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back. Anything.
Hold it!
Why did you believe that?
Anyone who knows Mr. Amano would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure.
I suppose he would be to a doting father like Mr. Amano.
I always figured that was it too, and I always was envious of Lance for it. Oh, because your dad's... I got this pendant from my father, and I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He'll welcome me into his arms, riding on the back of a Pegasus.
That pendant, she must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. That was a weird way to phrase it, but I get what you're going for.
Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money...
Hold it!
Would you mind telling us a little about the plan itself?
Well, first we captured Lance. Ooh, how'd you do it? Well, Mr. Deacon did that on his own, so I don't quite know. Ah, and here I thought you knew how to steal people away.
I shudder to think what she would do with such knowledge.
Sorry, I really don't know, but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to contain him.
In the meta prison at Star Labs?
All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
That's gonna be the important one. Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Ms. Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I mean, obviously. Like I said, this is the important one. I'm sorry, but I don't think that what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other.
Ms. Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Ms. Pops, which is a logical leap. But I like where he's coming from.
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me?
Statistically, most murders are of people the murderers know, yep. So what is the pendant? So what about the pendant? This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are. In case you hadn't caught on yet, I guess, we gotta explain the whole thing.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color. They're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Huh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow. It's totally Pegasus.
Which is like the Greek version of Totally Spies.
But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. Ha! Just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything. Huh. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well. I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Devore, the name that is etched on the horse pendant. What? An alias? Who on earth would ever think of using an alias when committing crimes? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense, given what's written in Mr. Devore's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This is the specific section is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants.
Take that!
Mr. Devore had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Whoop, we broke her. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang? For Lang's laugh, I just do gumshoes in reverse. See, it's good. It's good shit. Alright, I put a lot of thought into that. I'm very proud of it. You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Oh my god, I don't want to talk to this man anymore. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? This is getting weird. Just having this man involved is frustrating because he keeps saying things that are completely contradicted by things we already know. And he's the first character who has not managed to walk that line in the whole series so far. It's making me want to claw his eyes out. Okay. Okay. So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that they didn't know of their true relationship, right?
And you're saying that the two of them committed the kidnapping together?
That's right! As one really rotten family! And how could Von Karma have been so excited by his existence? Yep. Admittedly, Von Karma is also, you know... less so, though. She's got a little bit of a likable side to her, at least. This guy is actually managing to be kind of annoying more than anything else. He's not as bad as Godot, at least. Alright? Godot was entertainingly awful, but he was very, very awful. Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter.
Hold it!
I'm going a little bit into Solid Snake on that one. Precisely. And what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter? I've seen a lot of things in my travels. For instance, I killed my own daughter. And I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing. You know what? I'll give him that. He's right. He's right there. Kinda rich of this guy to say you imagined something and decided it was true. Yeah, he just jumps to every conclusion he can grab onto. The nearby policeman is clearly the culprit. Even true in the Fae family. Oh, yeah. 100% true. We just had like 8 cases that kind of proved his point there. So he gets 1. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact?
Hold
it! You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend they didn't. Because he was on the lam. You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, this guy has that D&D monk class feature that lets you jump as far as you want, but it applies only to conclusions. I like that. He definitely has that monk air about him, too. It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amino.
Hold it!
One is a butler and the other is a friend of the sun, you mean? Also, why does she have a maid's dress? I haven't mentioned that up to now, but that's definitely a maid's dress. Like, full-on French maid shit. Obviously, she had to be his daughter, because that shit's inherited. That's genetically predetermined clothing. That's the detective you should do for the next game, Monk. I don't think I could. I do not have obsessive compulsive disorder, and I think I would fuck that one up big time. But it is a good suggestion for someone who maybe does or is more familiar with obsessive compulsive disorder. One is a butler and the other as the friend of your son, you mean? They probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Now something's bugging me there.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit the crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were in fact family. Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Dude, people do not go this far for conspiracy. You are living in a fantasy world anime. Wait, that's actually what's happening here. Never mind. Never mind. I withdraw my statement. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Willow. So we present something. Yeah, it'd be this one, right?
Objection!
This kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We still haven't gotten to fight a giant fuck-off robot spider. Kevin Smith lied to me. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group trying to find its way into the Superman theme park. Excellent. Good follow-up. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who? Who is this mastermind sweating profusely? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Like, we've been saying this for a while, right?
Take that!
Obviously. How are you shocked? Lance Amino! Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said.
But I know I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Ah, yes, about when you were being held. I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember anymore. Honest.
Like... Oops. Sorry, I just pulled the cord from my headphones. They've got an easy release, which is good. Like, this cable has an easy release, rather. Which is good, because sometimes I yank on my headphones and then they would break otherwise. I really don't remember. Yeah, like, someone here should be telling him that he needs to get a lawyer. Like, I don't doubt he's involved, but he should have a lawyer. I know a guy, actually. Nah, if you're the bad guy, he won't take your case, and he's real good at figuring that out eventually.
But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
Lance's testimony.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. Didn't you just say you saw them? My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume.
It's a good thing we found that underground passage.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
No, not quite yet.
How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Oh, good. Lauren isn't the only one who talks like a B movie. Or a 50s romance. Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. No other prosecutor believes that, Edgeworth. You need to realize this. No other prosecutor believes that. You didn't until 3 years ago. You gotta not defend prosecutors as a career. Instead, you gotta be the one to fix it, because, like, you're actually in a position of power, and you can start something. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it.
He can change the world.
My brain went to Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. That is I really liked that movie. I doubt it holds up. It's Joss Whedon, but I did love it at the time. And I can stop the world. Like, that's just really good how he bumps into that. Song still gets stuck in my head. Hell yeah, Coyote Traveler, me too. Especially that one. I will stop the world is, like, in my head like 10 hours a day minimum. And has been for the past decade. Oh, fuck. There is a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. Yeah, that's where I'm at too, Willow. I'll rewatch it sometime and see if I can actually recommend it to someone else.
I was kidnapped yesterday morning.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail?
It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm.
And where were you when you experienced this calm?
Our family garden, of course. Where else could it have been?
Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princess than prince. Did you really just do a misogyny at this man, Edgeworth? Come on, man. Come on. I think the 3 leads make up for the creator. The 3 leads, definitely great. You gotta look at the writing and all too, you know? That's why before I recommend something, I try to make sure I've watched it recently. And that one I haven't. So I'm probably gonna watch it later. Like tonight, even maybe, now that I think of it. Not bad. I don't have anything else I have to do that takes physically me being there.
I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning bleh. Then, out of the blue, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth.
You didn't see your attacker.
They must have used some drug to knock me out.
He kind of looks like Bobby Hill, doesn't he?
Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already and all tied up. They had me shut in that room blindfolded the entire time.
Hold it!
By that room, you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct? I can't do a Bobby Hill voice. I'm not even gonna try.
Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape.
Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers.
They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely 2 people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared. I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move. But the kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared.
The room fell into a sudden silence. I'd been left behind like an unwanted mutt.
And what do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know.
I like K. I like K.
It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside.
Oh my god, that breeze, yes!
But it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well.
Damn! Smackdown on Edgeworth.
My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone.
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrists? I suppose you're still cuffed in that case.
I am well aware of how I'm changed to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner.
You know, you can just get those unlocked. They don't have to be on your wrist forever.
I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could.
Hold it!
That's impossible, though. Unless you went down the underground passage, never mind. How did you manage to escape?
I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked. Which is why I had to use the underground...
But it wasn't locked. So I thought he was fucking up one way, but he was fucking off in the other way.
Which is why I had to use the underground passage to make my escape.
I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony, and I mustn't let it go unexamined.
Boy, does that bring back oh, I fucked that up. Oh, we're good. Boy, does that bring back memories of our situation and how we made our escape.
Indeed. And although the door in the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door in the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway.
A secret passageway under a theme park. Ooh, that just sounds like so much fun.
I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? Yes. Yes, there is. Alright, so now we get to the door leading outside was locked tight. Except we know that's not true, so we're gonna show him the prop sword? Whoops. Or I can accidentally press because I bumped the controller on my leg. By underground passageway, you mean the one the staff uses to travel unnoticed? I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police. And that is when you found us congregated at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door?
That was easy. It was hanging right there in the room on the wall.
I do recall a key hanging on the wall right beside the table.
Boy, does that
Oh, Saint, we've already heard that dialogue. Alright. So now we go over to here. And now we can show him the broken sword. Because it was not locked, it was wedged in a way that he could easily have gotten out from the inside specifically. This is a weird one.
Objection!
Mark is crawling to with police and he made it to the stadium. Yeah, somehow. You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really? Wow, he is very easy to jostle.
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena?
Yes, that's correct. Then take a look at this!
What is that, a sword? It's not an especially reliable one if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape?
Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it.
As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
Not so fast!
You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive. What else? Do you honestly believe that an uptight, pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Yes. He is exactly the kind of person I would expect to come up with that kind of scheme.
Objection!
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit the crime. And that is where this comes in.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is, in fact, a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance?
Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your own old man, huh?
Ugh! All right, I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million, but now, that dream is over.
Oh, Lance!
Then you're giving yourself up?
Yes.
I had planned to run away from this world with my lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. That's the second time we've heard the word contain in reference to stopping someone or taking someone. We left him inside the room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the Blue Badger costume. That would mean that the person Officer Meekin saw was Ms. Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless, and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then, Oliver put on a Bad Badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million, and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. There's the break. Lolly, then it really was you. Chain of events. That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumbled to the ground, and I ran, scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you?
Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
So, Ms. Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was?
If what she says is true.
Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose does that serve?
You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see it.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium...
Hold it!
Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this.
But
All you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me?
All right. So, at the stadium, there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger...
Whoops.
No. Fucking... There.
Hold it, Bad Badger. That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun? Oh god, he had the prop gun.
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me,
I'm about to die, I thought. Ms. Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement once more? Yes, of course. But that badger pointed the gun in his left hand at me, aiming to shoot me dead. See, that's interesting. That's real interesting. Because we know something about Colin. Let me see if I got this right. Dominant hand right. There, got it.
Objection!
I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Then, the person pointing the gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held a real gun with was his left.
But he was also holding a suitcase. Plus, there was the gun that was ripped off of the trashed costume.
Isn't it possible it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Ms. Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who's never set foot in court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Hey, you're at least as smug as he is. And maybe not quite, but pretty smug. Ms. Pops told us earlier. There was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand. Which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Ms. Pops? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. And I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yes, Ms. Pops claims to have seen the bad badger. And yet the bad badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Except that no, both are correct. We got them! They're both correct.
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Ms. Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if the bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? Aha! This proves there was a way for the bad badger to freely use both of his hands!
Take that!
The costumes have two parts to them, a head and a body. Oh, I get it now. The head Ms. Pops saw was probably really the head. What is the point of the costume with the hole in its hand then? The head Ms. Pops saw was probably really the head of the bad badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? So he gave her the prop gun, yeah? So that it would seem that she killed Deacon. But actually he had. Oh, that's dark. That's real dark.
A different badger?
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the bad badger Ms. Pop saw really belonged to the proto badger, of course.
Take that!
What? The heck is it? It's the proto badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Ms. Pops was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that's left is the proto badger costume. Ms. Pops, Who was the one who wore the proto-badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Knuckle back!
Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which, he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while he was wearing that hideous thing.
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup. And its purpose was to lead Ms. Pops into believing that she had committed the murder. Standing there in front of Ms. Pops and pretending to be the victim, it was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There's but one reason. Lance Amano, you are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What? No! That's slander! Take it back! You take it back right now!
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Ms. Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand.
Ha! Who's what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd.
Yeah, I kind of agree on that one. That the left-handedness is a bit of a reach. There's other stuff we can go on, but that in particular.
It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire, and he would have found himself dead, right?
Except no. Of course, logically, if he'd been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
Take that!
Yep. We found one half of a badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks.
What?
It's not slander, it's an opinion based on disclosed facts. There you go. Ms. Pops, where is the gun you used now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture.
I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high.
Okay, let's pretend that you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Ha! I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Hold it! Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He'd tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time.
And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes.
His voice is getting more and more squidgy as I go.
Which means that the victim was still alive at that time, wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. I'm interested in a particular statement here.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two.
Hold it!
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we'd picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas, looking for the best route.
Ah, so each of them had their own roles to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door.
Hold it!
You're sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
He was already dead. Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself? She saw Edgeworth, not Deacon. Uh-huh.
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a Bad Badger head. Ain't that interesting?
Hold it!
So the tied-up Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume.
Yes, and?
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? I mean, obviously. The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I'll tell you why not with this. This, Ms. Pops, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim.
Take that!
Ms. Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was this person. I would have made it so you have to pick a... Wait, actually. Yeah, I would have made it so you had to pick a profile for this one, you know, if I were doing this. But Edgeworth's doesn't have a profile here. That's kind of weird. It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. You coming up here, Gaston? Oh. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right?
That's...
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume to escape together, or so you pretended.
Huh? What do you mean he pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. Ugh! And to create his fake prison with the prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway.
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out from Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave.
We've heard a lot come out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that were the case, Ms. Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Who said that?
Hold it! Oh, it's the dad.
Please, wait.
Mr. Omino.
Ho ho ho, Miles, my boy.
It looks like you're really giving it your all.
And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad, let's see. You're the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh, do you now?
Just comes in and calmly gives his son up. Is that what I think it is?
It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing. And a gun!
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea.
Ah! Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
There. Now, there now. Agent Lang, please calm down. You can't stop Mr. Omino. Oh no. Oh no, that was an awesome game, by the way. No one can stop Mr. Domino. That game rocks.
Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Omino complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The chief of police? What the? Who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh, there. Now. There's no need to be so upset. Ha! I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
What the fuck, dude? Oh god, if that's true, that's wild. Oh, it's not true though. It's incredibly easy to stop Mr. Domino. I mean, that depends who's playing, right? Alright, we gotta go to our last ad break of the night, and we'll be back to finish up this chapter in just a minute. See you then. And we're back. Now, as we were saying, Lang is from another country, so he's not bound by the laws of this one while in it for some reason. Which, honestly, the way this world works, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Now. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of this land. Can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand.
If Lang were a diplomat, he wouldn't be bound by local laws. That's true.
It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back, and I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
What? Wrong voice. You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache.
He faked the evidence to get his son out of trouble and threw Lauren under the bus.
Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence.
I really thought he was just gonna walk in and throw his kid under the bus for a second, and that would have been really funny.
With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around.
That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. Or the prosecutor of that, really. I'm not a judge. There's nothing unusual about this area. What? Oh, I guess there's not. This bullet hole. It looks kind of burnt around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact.
Why is that?
Because it's proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. There you go. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? What's this? Looks like there's something inside the costume head.
Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable. They look like glass from the mirror.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they here?
Updated my journal.
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen?
Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no, this isn't helpful at all.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes. He's so slimy. That may be all you can do. That may be all you can do. Sorry, I gotta say this in a way that makes me sound human. I'm not always good at that. That may be all you can do. However, that may be all you can do. However, there we go. That was it. That may be all you can do. However, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderous gun.
Hold it!
Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Ms. Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensic techniques money can buy performed.
I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an... Fuck yeah, you should. We've got full health. Frankly, I don't believe that Ms. Pop's prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Ms. Pop's prints should not be on that gun is because she was holding it through a fucking badger costume.
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Ms. Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Ms. Pops was wearing a costume.
Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints.
Well, Ms. Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Ms. Pop's prints found their way onto the gun.
Ah!
Do you understand now, Mr. Amano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Ms. Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
Son, this is America.
And she's white, so, you know, they need to actually prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. A cab. You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance? What? No way! I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
Huh. That's where you're wrong. I have evidence.
But how?
The story that Ms. Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. Well, see, as a white woman, the courts are gonna want to let her off the hook because, you know, there's this idea that fragile white women are incapable of doing anything difficult or wrong. So she's probably safe if we're being honest. I think it's called the chiriarchy. I just learned that word recently. Alright, so what are we doing? This proves the real murder was not committed at the stadium. That would be... Oh, I know what that is. There we go.
Take that!
Let us take another look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then, I believe you will see why I insist he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The bird around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
Ah, so then you mean the murder Ms. Oldbag saw at the stadium really was...
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. Chiriarchy was the government style of Destiny Island. Fuck, man. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Ugh! Ha! Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Like, it's the haunted house, right? The mirror fragments prove that. Land set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. Yeah, from when we had the badger there in the haunted house. in the corner. Yeah, this is adding up. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... I've got it. I know the scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed is here.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in that haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, and I have proof that it's highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? He said out loud.
Take that!
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? What does that have to do with anything?
Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually really dangerous.
However, there's one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Amino, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. Cluedo reference! Woo-woo! After that, you stole the Blue Badger mobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger mobile was stolen confirms this as fact. They don't put this much work into solving real murders.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Amino, but I can't do that.
Be quiet. Yes, please, do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. Ernest Amino, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you! I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. That thing that I've refused to look at. And to call these mere bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there.
It was on the haunted house mirrors at that.
A mirror that's for the haunted house.
You see? Isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there?
But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low.
Probability? Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Langzy says, on truth's path, the words probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof.
I went a bit Speed Racer there for a sec.
The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have the definitive proof you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Actually, no. I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. Come on now. I don't need your help, Miles.
See? So since you don't have any, shut up!
I don't have the evidence yet, but... What's a yet but? I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection with the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Okay, that was pretty good. Who would you ask for permission to go into the haunted house, Kay? Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
All right, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing. Got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Damn, man. That's heavy. Sheena,
I'm here.
put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Hold it! Who was that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Amino?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena! I can't read!
It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed. Read it out loud.
Gatewater Land, Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amino for the lump sum of $1 million, paid full in cash.
What? As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of that haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you...
No, I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made the deal almost immediately.
This guy is the worst.
How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. That $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was... No, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money. My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are, so if you would please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What's there to discuss? Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Amino was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion.
Agent Lang,
Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Mr. Amino definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here.
you want to hop down now, Gaston? There you go. There you go. Good boy. Thank you for waiting and asking, so I can move stuff. He's a good boy.
What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.
All right, there we go. Got through 2 chapters today. So we'll be back with more of that next week. This shit's wild, y'all. Absolutely fucking wild. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. Always great to see you here. Always great to perform for you. Very happy to see you all. Very happy to use this button.
Updated my journal.
Good shit, right? All right. So I guess next we're probably going to use Little Thief to recreate the crime scene from the haunted house, right? That's the only place I can see this going from here. All right, if you want to support us, there's a couple ways to do that. You can, of course, subscribe here, or you can head on over to patreon.com/ifwhen, where you can get access to art, music, and shout-outs at the end of every stream. There's lots of good stuff to see. We got stuff going on. So, thank you to our patrons, Sky, Andymonia, Melly Basket, Kai, Nahum Wengrove, Angelic, and Willow Mist. You rock! Schedule's over at truckcommunity.neocities.org. Tomorrow, over on his channel, Bad Road is going to be streaming more Dust and Elysium Tale. And Sue is going to be playing more Baby Steps back here after that. Then we got YouTube channel over there at youtube.com/@ifwhenvod. That's where all the streams go when we're done streaming them. New stuff going up there a few times a week. So do check that out. It's actually a great place to watch the VODs, leave comments, all that good stuff. And be on tomorrow night after Baby Steps. All right, and then Willow will be on her channel, Willow Miss 23, playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance still, I assume. Good stuff. So that's like 3 streams for the price of 1 there, and the price is 0. You can just go on Twitch and watch it. They let you do that. All right. Once more, thanks for coming. We'll see you later. Good night. Why does this thing say I've been streaming for 11 hours straight? What the fuck? What? My stream deck, on the stream button, there's a timer. It's supposed to show how long you've been live. And instead of 3 hours, 22 minutes, it says 11 hours, 50 minutes. That's wild. Yeah, it says the right time everywhere except on the Stream Decks button. That's strange. All right. Peace. See y'all later.